Mary had a little lamb.
The fault. We believe that all men are created equal.
To the magnificent mosaic that is America.
From radio beacon to radio beacon. I have a dream today. Change has come to America.
Believe it.
Help is on the way.
Knock, knock. Who's there?
It's a figment of your imagination.
Randi Rhodes Show.
Turn up your mind.
Here are the biggest lies Trump will likely say on stage.
Okay, he's gonna pretend like he's never even heard of Project 2025.
More than 130 people who work for him are involved in Project 2025. His running mate, J.D. Vance, wrote the foreword to the Project 2025 author's book. That same author was caught on hidden camera talking about Trump's support. Of course, he'll lie about his extreme record on abortion.
Not only is he responsible for dozens of abortion bans in states, his Project 2025 agenda calls for a national ban. It's right there in black and white. He's gonna lie about how he handled the economy and created jobs.
Trump left us with an unemployment rate of 6.7% in an economy that had lost 9.4 million jobs. Meanwhile, the Biden-Harris administration cleaned up his mess, bringing those 9 million jobs back and then some. More than 15 million jobs overall, all while bringing inflation down and bringing wages up.
And then he's gonna lie and say he'll protect Social Security and Medicare.
He literally tried to cut both of these programs every year he was in office as president. He might even try to say he's responsible for $35 insulin.
Which is ridiculous because he is not. Vice President Harris literally cast the tie-breaking vote for the bill that did that, and President Biden literally signed it into law, bringing insulin prices down to $35 for those on Medicare. We all saw this happen on video. And no, Donald, it was not AI. He'll lie and blame Kamala Harris for the border.
Donald Trump is the guy who entered the chat and blew up the bipartisan border security bill.
Yep.
And he said out loud, blame me.
He did.
Because he thought it'd help him politically.
Yep.
When she's president, Vice President Harris is signing it into law. Now he'll say the vice president wants to defund the police.
Vice President Harris cast the tie-breaking vote on the largest federal investment in fighting crime and public safety ever. And Republicans voted against it. She's a prosecutor, and she's taken on criminals and transnational gangs. Now, Donald Trump has never been good at budgeting, but his budgets repeatedly cut funding for police. And when he was president, homicide went up 30% from 2019 to 2020. And look, if I were a convicted felon, I'd want to cut police funding too.
Bottom line, Trump's a liar, and the American people deserve better.
That was the Harris campaign that put that video out. Oh, yeah. It was a pre-bunk. A pre-bunk. Woo! Saved us a whole lot of, debunking tomorrow. Just got to play that. Yay, you, Kamala. Yay, you. So, I mean, honestly, this is an old, sorry, dusty bin of, what was under Donald Trump, not what is under the Biden-Harris administration, number one. And number two, nothing to do about the future. Nothing at all. Donald Trump is a grievance, griper is what he is. And it is true, and it's ironic that she is a prosecutor and he is the felon. That's just the way things are. It's just the way it goes. It's just what happened. It's just what Donald Trump did with his business. It's just what a jury found he did with his business. And that's that. And Judge Merchan, the one that Donald Trump was, saying he's in the tank and blah, 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 and they're doing he postponed, as you probably know, the sentencing portion of Donald Trump's 34 felonies until after the election so that it wouldn't have any taint. Not even a slight stench or a minuscule odorous stench to it. So he postponed it till after the election, knowing that if Donald Trump wins the election, there will be no sentencing. Because Donald Trump is literally going to gut every single one of those cases and make them go away. Because he and he alone will control the Department of Justice. Now, if you think that police brutality is bad now, if you think it's a little ugly now, if you saw Tyreek Hill be pushed to the ground yesterday two times, and have his hands put behind his back and handcuffed simply because he was driving a mega expensive sports car right outside of his home stadium just before he was to play football for the Miami Dolphins as a all-pro wide receiver, and was going too fast down the road near the stadium and got pulled over for a traffic stop. And when the cop came over to the window and bashed on it, like, I can't even make that noise because I don't have jewelry on. Smashed, this person, Tyreek Hill, who seemed a little entitled, I'll give him that. And who wouldn't be? I mean, listen, who wouldn't be feeling a little entitled if you were, I know this is the reason why a whole bunch of people watch the football, especially the boys, is because you like to imagine that you are on that field, that you are that gladiator, that you are in that competition, that this is you running that 80-yard touchdown. That's you. You're doing the thing. Purely fantasy. It's why we like rom-coms, okay? It's why girls like, Bridesmaids. So who wouldn't be feeling a little entitled if you were driving a mega expensive sports car? I don't even know do you know what that car was? Howard ventured to guess that it was some sort of a BMW performance model. I don't know. I have no idea. But it was a very expensive, I'm guessing, over $125,000 sports car with, tinted windows, and right in front of the stadium, the road that goes in front of the stadium in Miami, which is really Hallandale, just saying. And feeling, pretty lucky to be him that day because he is an all-pro wide receiver who is just about to go get into the Gladiator, Coliseum, right, which is Dolphin Stadium. And the cop pulls him over. And so he says to the cop in that entitled way that he did, "Don't bang on my window like that." Oh, well, 0 to bitch in 1.2 seconds. Truly. And no, I'll just guess this, okay? I don't know the rank of the police officer that pulled him over. But I'm just going to guess that a guy driving a mega expensive sports car with tinted windows in front of the Dolphin Stadium who is on the team, okay, that he couldn't figure this out. So anyway, it escalates. In like 2.5 seconds, it goes from 0 to, on the ground in 1.2 seconds. It's like the escalation rate is just incredibly fast. It's faster than that sports car, and that's pretty freaking fast from what I could see because he was speeding in it. No effort to de-escalate the situation at all on the part of the officers. No. Now, if you think that there is some sort of a community interest, let's put it that way, in having police officers trained in de-escalating situations, I do. I think that's an important part of being a police officer is knowing how to de-escalate a traffic stop from escalating into your face is on the freaking ground and my knee is on your back. Then I would say Trump is not your guy. Because what Donald Trump aims to do is give immunity to all police officers to do whatever, whenever, to whomever. And guess who they'll choose? Guess. Whatever you guessed, you're right. Whatever you did, you're right. I don't know what was in your head, but you're right. So why would you choose that for this country? Why would you choose complete and utter violence and chaos on the street at the hands of officers who are not trained in de-escalating a traffic stop? Okay? I mean, it just makes no sense to me that would be something people hope and dream and aspire to seeing on the streets of America. Then, on top of it, 10 former top U.S. military generals, officials, ambassadors signed a letter. And, the military is, for the most part, and I was in it, it's not a political place. It really isn't. Lately, I think it is. I think the military has got all kinds of extremists in it these days. And that might have been by Republican design. However, the top echelon has written a letter saying, vote for Kamala. Don't have time to listen to the live show? Want to hear more on your schedule? Go to RandiRhodes.com and buy a stinking podcast.